My
At beautiful and historical Lakewood Lanes in Waterford. Today you'll watch our 5 finalists compete for over $1,100 in cash and prizes. Stay tuned, you're watching the Metro Bowling Tour. And now your host, Roy Akers.
All right, welcome here to Lakewood Lanes here this afternoon for the Pro Shop Open here at Lakewood Lanes. Today our 5 finalists are going to be bowling for cash. First place prize is going to pay $325, plus a gift certificate from Bud's Pro Shop to the winner for $200. Other places are going to pay off. We're going to tell you about it. First, qualifying 5th from Waterford, Michigan, Ross O'Dowd. Qualifying 4th, also from Waterford, Michigan here this afternoon, Jerry Robertson. And once again, from Waterford, qualifying 3rd, Sam Graves. Qualifying 2nd here this afternoon, from White Lake, Michigan, Troy Franz. And qualifying 1st, our first place qualifier here this afternoon from Waterford, John Markland. Today, these 5 bowlers are going to go ahead and try to make the chance to win our Pro Shop Open here this afternoon. We're going to be right back in just a moment for our opening match.
The Metro Bowling Tour is coming, and you're invited to bowl. This handicap bowling tour is open monthly to all ABC and WIBC bowlers. Participants will compete for monthly cash prizes at Oakland County's finest bowling establishments. Entry blanks are available at these centers, or you can call 248-618-9895, or look for an entry blank in the Bowler's Digest. This tour features sponsors, 80% of 225 handicaps, anti-sandbagger rules, and features stories on local and professional bowling. Finally, the finalists will bowl for cash prizes on this station. Cost is only $35. We'll see you on tour.
All right, everybody, right now in match 1, James Robertson versus Ross O'Dowd. Let's hear it for him, everybody. I'm never going to get you right. You know, I've done this now to Jerry how many times here already in the last month? They keep calling him 10 or 15 times. Thanks for reminding me. First frame in our opening match here this afternoon. Jerry Robertson. And Robertson sends it wide and will immediately leave the wall, the 1-3-4-7. It really is tough coming in here bowling cold. Robertson attempting to shoot a pair, a spare here in the first frame. I'd like to thank Lance Cousins for opening up his house here on Sunday morning. We were supposed to tape this yesterday, but the second squad ran over so daggum long. And with the spare, Robertson's on top. He received 22 pins in handicap. O'Dowd on lane 12. O'Dowd actually qualified 8th here today and quickly gets off with a strike and will now move to frame 2. O'Dowd making his first ever appearance in the televised finals in his first tournament that he's bowled here on the Metro Bowling Tour. Bowls in a couple of leagues. O'Dowd, beautiful rotation, but will leave a solid 10-pin. O'Dowd's block today, check this one out. Very consistent. 220, 206, 201, 212, 192, and 221. On our handicap format, he actually received 8 pins per game. And he had a total of 1,300, including handicap, with 1,252 of that being actual. Bowling very, very well. And he'll spare it up. Now we move to Robertson's second. Jerry Robertson from Waterford. His son actually appeared on our last telecast. Jerry does a tremendous amount of tournament bowling all over the country. Just 2 weeks ago, he bowled in Kansas City. And Robertson will throw it higher than heck, and he carries. And he leads after the first frame, 42-20. Robertson is an Air Leak technician for new homes. He seals the windows and the different energy components of your home for a big contracting company. Bowls in the Six Packers in the Bud Light League in Waterford, Michigan. Loves bowling and fishing. And Robertson sends it wide, and it's going to leave a 6 count. So far, he's had a little bit of problems here on lane 11. O'Dowd already looks like he's wired in. The winner of this match will be bowling our third seed, Sam Graves, this afternoon. Sam Graves is our only female to make the finals in any of our tournaments here in our brief history. Practicing happening on the lane adjacent. I think Robertson sends that one a little wide and will miss. He actually has 70 through 3 because he was spotted 22 pins here this afternoon. He is the dark horse. In every tournament we've had, the cream rises to the top. We've had single-digit handicap bowlers make our telecast all 3 times, 4 of the 5 bowlers. And the 5th is always somebody who propels himself based on some of the pins are spotted. And what a nice strike, and taking a look, the 3-pin actually bounced off the sideboard and kicked out in front of the 10-pin. That is frustrating for all of us. And O'Dowd now trails 61-39. Looking to make this 10-pin here in the third. O'Dowd leaves that one short and barely makes that one. We now move to O'Dowd's fourth. He trails by 22, but could cut it to 11 with a strike here in his 4th frame. O'Dowd is an independent contractor, bowls in several leagues, including the Monday Night Eagles with me, bowls on the Sunday Afternoon Men's League. He's an all-around player, loves golf, softball, the Red Wings. Always wearing that Red Wings coat to his leagues. Sends that one wide, and that really hurts as he leaves the 1-2-7. This is a washout, and this is a big point in the match. Robertson leads by 14. And O'Dowd sends it wide. Can he kick it over? He does not. He leaves it a little short. And he has 63 through 4. Robertson set here on the approach here in his fourth. And he'll send it out, and that one has a chance, but there's a lot of oil out there, and he leaves a very wiggling 4-pin. Both bowlers have opened once in this game. These lanes are very slick compared to the condition that we had yesterday. There's no way that that condition could be duplicated. Leagues have bowled since last night. And there were a lot of games bowled on these lanes here yesterday. And sends it straight at it. I like Jerry's technique. He goes right at the pins. He doesn't do a lot of the razzle-dazzle, as we now move to Robertson's fifth. Beautiful. Easily his best shot of the match. And there you are going to have it. We're going to have ourselves a very brief break here, just to let everybody know what's going on here. As far as tournaments are concerned here locally, the Metro Bowling Tour is not the only thing happening here in Oakland County. Other things happening, just to let you know, the Pontiac Women's Bowling Association is having a team doubles and singles tournament at the 300 Bowl. The tournament opens in May, but you really need to get your entries in, ladies, right now. Take a look. There's all kinds of entry forms just like this all over the bowling centers here in North Oakland County. This is the WIBC tournament. Ladies, this is a great event to get in, one of the most prestigious tournaments going on in Michigan. And right along that same vein, the 15th annual Michigan Queens tournament is also happening. That is going to be happening not locally, though. It's going to be down in Westland, which is kind of sort of local. That tournament is going to be happening only one weekend, and it's going to be on May 2nd and 3rd. Just like at Lakewood Lanes, all the bowling centers have this green sheet. So next time the ladies, you go out there and shoot. It's a ladies-only tournament. Once again, like to see you getting both of those. And right now, we're going to turn it over as Ross O'Dowd will pick up action here, as he will be bowling here in his fifth. O'Dowd up, trailing by 27. Buries it. He needed that shot, too. Both bowlers are working on strikes, as both of them have hit here in the mid part of this first match here this afternoon. We got 3 more to follow. O'Dowd moves over to lane 11 to bowl in his sixth and buries it. First bowler between Jerry Robertson and Ross O'Dowd to have a double here in this particular match. O'Dowd just chucks a missile down there, and that is really a key for him. 19 bowlers cashed in this particular event between cash and prizes. We're going to run down all our cashers here right after this particular match. All right, Jerry. Very high, and what a nice 3-pin, just rolled right along the line. It went exactly where it was supposed to, and that's a beautiful strike. Both bowlers working on doubles as we now move to Robertson's seventh. Robertson has bowled in all 3 events here on the Metro Bowling Tour and sends that one way wide. He is really struggling on lane 11. This has really been a tough lane. is he's going to leave a sleeper. Check out this combination. The 1, 4, 5. This could be the break that O'Dowd needs. If Robertson does convert here, he should be looking very good for the rest of this match. Uh-oh, and he'll miss that one and chop it. Robertson with handicap has 143 after 7. O'Dowd is working on a double. He's got lane 12 figured very well right now. Beautiful rotation. And he has the 3-bagger. He could cut Robertson's lead after 6 to 12 pins. O'Dowd here on 11. Nice rotation. Will he get there? No, it's a little short. He leaves the bucket. So a streak ends at 3. He trails by 16, but could cut it to just 4 pins with a conversion. With handicap, it usually all works out. Once again, bowling in match 2, Sam Graves from Waterford will meet the winner of this particular event. O'Dowd chucks it out and chops it. O'Dowd with 145 through 8. Excuse me, I made a mathematical error. I make that 147. Robertson getting square to the line. And that one will get caught in the oil. A lot of oil between second and third arrow out there today. Qualifying second here once again from White Lake, Troy Franz. Boy, is it quiet out there, and I think Robertson might chop. Oh, he just hangs on. Well, the oil has hurt him down the middle for most of this match, but in that particular one, while he might have thrown that ball a little off the mark, the oil pattern is very heavy right down the middle, and that ball did not break, and with that, that helped him with that spare conversion. We are now in the 8th. With the strike, Robertson could lead by 16. And Jerry will send that one away. Why, he has just struggled so much on lane 11 here today. Really got a feel for him. But he's still up by 12 pins. And if he converts this spare, he'll still be in the driver's seat. And Robertson will convert. That was crucial. That was not an easy spare with this type of pressure here today. He's just forced O'Dowd to get things going here very quickly. Our next tournament coming up is in 5 weeks at Classic Lanes in Rochester. Entry information will be given to you after this particular game coming up here in just a few moments. O'Dowd, what rotation? Will it come back? And gets the spinner and the 8-pin. I'll tell you what, boy, that thing just slid off the deck. We now move to O'Dowd's 10th. He cannot, even with a 4-bagger in the 10th, he cannot shut out Robertson. And there you have it. And lane 11 is just giving everybody fits. If O'Dowd is to advance, he must make this spare. And he chops it. And he'll finish with a 173. Robertson needs only 4 pins to tie, 5 for the win. Robertson pulls a shot and will leave the 7-10, but it's enough, and he will move on. Well, I can't say we've ever had the 7-10 made on our TV finals in our brief history. Matter of fact, I don't know if anybody's ever left one in all of our matches on TV. With these new reactive resin balls, it's easy to throw a beautiful pocket shot and leave the 7-10, but that ball was well deserving of this particular spare attempt. Robertson converts, and he wins match 1. And with that right now, let's take it as we're about set here for match 2.
Mommy, what about my birthday party?
Okay, with us right here on the Metro Bowling Tour, we're going to learn here in the next few minutes about building your arsenal here for bowling tournaments. With me right now is Vince Imbier, proprietor of the 300 Bowl Pro Shop. Vince, when you're going bowling, obviously you bring 1 or 2 types of balls. Let's identify those here this afternoon, and let's find out about different types of balls that you might have for your arsenal that will help you out in just about any situation you might have in tournament play.
Well, when you go to a tournament, and if you go in there blindly and you don't know what the lanes are going to be like, you most likely want to have a dull ball that hooks a lot, and probably a mid-range ball that's not on the top end of the hooking line, but will still hook. And then you have the middle of the road hooker, and then you have regular urethane, which would probably be for medium to even drier conditions. And then you might have a plastic ball for if the lanes are just totally broke down and dry, or to shoot at spares with. And you can have all different kinds of balls that you have at home. You might need to add a ball, you might not. But to go to a tournament blindly, you really do need a dull ball, and a medium ball, and a hard shell ball.
So, well, we have like 6 different bowling balls here. That's just a suggestion. You don't have to have 6 to bowl at the Metro Bowling Tour or anywhere else. But the other thing as well, when you're taking a look, there's a major difference between league bowling and tournament bowling.
I agree with you there, because in league bowling, after a few weeks, if the lanes are consistent, you pretty much know what balls you're going to use. And there might be a day where the machine's not working properly or something, and you might need to use a different ball. But when you go to a tournament, unless you have a scouting report and you know what the lanes are going to be like, you have to really have some extra balls that you don't normally use in your league. Probably something that hooks more, and probably something that hooks less. And you might end up using your favorite ball.
And there you have it. Now the last thing is that you actually in the stencil you've written down different codes here for different hooking thickness. And a lot of bowlers, when they come into pro shops now, they're hearing pros and they're reading charts that are talking about how much a ball hooks. Let's talk about that real quick, because that kind of corresponds with the first question, but let's kind of put that in actuality. Looking here, now we're not endorsing any bowling ball over another, but these here are just examples.
There's many choices. Of every company has balls that directly compete with each other. The industry standard is a 1 through 20 scale, with 1 being the least amount of hook and 20 being the most amount of hook. And what you might want to have for a tournament is a dull 20, and then you might want a shiny 20. So that'll get you through the medium heavy to heavy oil. Then you have a ball that would be considered probably around a 12 that'll get you right through the middle of the road type of conditions. In Roy's tournament, you bowl 6 games, and you might start out with a 19 or 20, and then maybe in the 5th or 6th game, the lanes start breaking down, and you have to go to more of a medium-shelled ball. You never know what the lanes are going to be like. That's why you need these other balls. They're sort of like golf clubs. You have your driver and you have your putter, and you have to decide how much oil is on the lane and which ball matches up. And in a tournament, when you find out which ball works the fastest, then you're going to have more pins knocked down.
Okay, and that goes right down to this little ball here by the Rhino here. This is drilled here is pretty much a spare ball, or when the lanes, as you said, totally break down. This has a thickness of 2, where this other ones are 10, 15, and 20, and so that's something to think about. And you can also manipulate a ball's hook rating, because it'll have a general hook rating, but then again it can be more or less based on how it's drilled, and once again whether you sand it or polish it.
Well, let's just take the Boss, for instance. It's a 15 / to a 20. If you polish that ball up really shiny, not the hook, you can make it into a 15, which is still going to be a hooking ball. But if you leave it sanded and drill it to the full hooking potential of the ball, then it's a solid 20. So you do have a lot of different choices with each individual ball. I always say that you have 3 balls in one. The way it comes out of the box, shinier and duller. So you really have 3 balls in one. Now, you can't sand your ball once you start competition. During practice, if you decide that, Jesus, I could really use some more hook out of this ball, it's your most hookingest ball that you have, you probably could take it into the pro shop and have it dulled down, and then you will end up with 3-4 numbers more hook out of that ball.
And there you have it. So basically, when you're building an arsenal, you have to take into account various factors, such as sanding your ball, polishing your ball, taking a look at where your ball is drilled, and finally the composition of the ball itself. I think that pretty much sums it up, Vince.
If you do everything we said, you're going to have just
more
your skill.
Oh, there you go. Or you'd be more confused than ever.
Thanks.
Anyway, Vinny's the expert. Going back to our next match on the Metro Bowling Tour, for Vince Embier, I'm Roy Akers. We'll be right back here in a moment.
All right, we're